a very exciting development, and I believe there is now an agreement between the Council and European Parliament. Just lay out for us exactly what this certificate is. What does it entail?
So thanks for such an opportunity to explain to you that the certificate is first a tool to prove the situation of each and every one European citizen in relation with the COVID. So it will be an EU digital COVID certificate because it's the way to prove that you are vaccinated, of course, or that you have passed a test, a negative PCR test with a negative result, or that you have had the disease, the COVID-19, but with the recovery, you have antibodies. So there are 3 different certificates in one tool, and it's an obligation for all the member states to issue the same certificate, and it will be an obligation for all the member states to accept all the certificates issued by other member states. So we avoid a fragmentation. We have exactly the same tool, and we'll try to work with the third countries to go in the same direction, to have a reciprocity and to have a possibility to recognize the same kind of certificate from abroad. But so from the 1st of July, at last, it will be possible to travel with such a certificate, and so it will be possible to facilitate the free movement of people, and more than that, maybe to facilitate the waiving of all the restrictions. So maybe to don't ask to vaccinated people to pass a test or to go to quarantine. And that's very important, of course, to go to a more free exercise of the free movement in the European Union, and again, to avoid additional restrictions.
Yeah, I mean, all of that sounds very positive, and no doubt a welcome to the airline industry, the travel industry, all of the sectors that have got hit by the restrictions. But I'm curious to see how it's going to work in practice, particularly as right now, each European country seems to have their own travel restrictions for third countries. Let me give you an example. As of today, if you're a Brit national, there are no direct flights to Austria or Germany, but I could take a direct flight to Spain. Under this program that you're suggesting, could there be gaps whereby a Brit national could fly into one member country and then from there infiltrate other member countries?
So we have tried to organize a real coordination at the EU level. To be concrete, I've proposed with the Commission last October in 2020 a recommendation adopted by the 27 member states to organize a coordinated approach of the restriction. But I must say that we have a lot of problems in the application of such a recommendation. So now we will have, like we have said, a new tool, the certificate, so to prove the situation in relation with the COVID. And if you think about the situation at the beginning of July, we'll try also in the next days and weeks to go back to the Council with an amended recommendation about the restrictions. And so to be concrete with your question, to see if it's possible to agree on common approaches on different fields. First of all, if you have a PCR test, is it needed to have a negative PCR test 48 hours before your travel or 72 hours before? There are different views on this. We want to go to the same approach. Is it possible to say that if you are vaccinated, you don't need to pass a test or you don't need to go to quarantine? We try also to come to the Council with that. And in the last European Council with the leaders around the table in the last days, it was a request to do that for the 15th of June. So normally, if we are able to do that, from the 15th of June, we will have a better coordination of all the restrictions. I mean, except, of course, if there are new sanitary negative evolutions in some areas with variant of concerns or with other issues. But so first we have the tool. That's very important, it's the certificate, and now there is a political agreement in the Council and the Parliament on the proposal of the Commission. We have the technical solution because we are already with a gateway at the EU level and with an exchange of different QR code between the member states to have a real authentication of the certificate, because you know that there are many frauds for the moment on internet about the certificate related to the PCR test. And then we will come back to the Council with a new adaptation of the recommendation to answer to your question and to try, again, to have a common approach. Not now, maybe progressively, till the beginning of July, and to show that it's possible to travel everywhere in Europe with the same certificate, but also with the same level of restrictions and not with different approaches from one member state to another one, again, except if there are real concern in one of the region about the sanitary situation.